You are listening to the Nature's Premier Podcast, episode 50, How to Get Started with Using Cloth Diapers. Here on the Nature's Premier Podcast, we talk about everything from bees to babies and sustainable living. Join us while we talk about natural parenting and different ways to live a more sustainable lifestyle for ourselves and our future generations to come. Now let's begin. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Nature's Premier Podcast. I am your host, Brooke Nichols, and today marks episode 50 of the podcast. Thank you all so much for your support and your engagement and tuning in weekly to our podcast episodes. I do my best to offer a variety of topics within the parenting, holistic, and natural topic ranges. So I really do appreciate you all tuning in and contributing to our Facebook pages, to our emails, and just seeming to really enjoy the podcast. It is such an honor to bring this to you all every week, and it's something that I really look forward to continuing to do for the foreseeable future. So today we're actually going to kick it back to the basics of why we started this podcast, and that was to talk more about sustainable parenting and also talk about how to get started using cloth diapers and living more of a zero waste lifestyle. Now, because that there is just so many rabbit holes within all of those genres, we are able to talk about different things about conservation, animal rights, and just many other issues and talk about different products. I wanted to, take it back to home base and talk about cloth diapering. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, Nature's Premier Podcast is actually a division of Nature's Premier Diaper Service. I do want to have an entire episode on our diaper service because a lot of people don't realize that diaper services still do exist. And Nature's Premier, we are based in New York, and we are offering innovative services that are rarely offered. We offer cloth diapers, and we also offer compostable diapers. So it's a newish type of program we've been doing for the last couple of years, and there's only 2 other services in the United States that actually offer this type of service, and it is the wave of the future. So we will definitely have a whole episode on our service and talk about different things that we do, and even possibly have another service on. Definitely we'll be looking into it. But today we're going to talk about getting started with cloth diapers. So if you are a parent, if you currently have young babies that are currently diapering, if you're pregnant or you're looking to have a family in the future, or if you have like nieces and nephews, cousins, and you just want to kind of spread the word, definitely tune into this episode. Grab a Sprite, grab a cup of water, grab whatever you want to drink. I'm actually jamming out to a watermelon right now, and I'm just going to be super organic with this episode and talk to you all about cloth diapers. It's something that we are super passionate about because it's linked to a bigger objective. It's linked to a bigger solution for our issues with, waste and just the over inundation of our landfills and pollution. And it's actually a really deep rabbit hole when you talk about disposable diapers and the environmental implications that it is having on our environment. I mean, they are detrimental and they're not talked about, and there's a lot of greenwashing. So let's just jump into getting started with cloth diapers. I'll talk quickly about the pros of cloth diapers, and then we'll just give you some tips on how you can get started. If you ever have any of your own questions, please feel free to email us again at speaking@naturespremier.com. We get emails there every single week for the most random questions, but I absolutely love hearing from you all, and I personally answer these emails. So definitely shoot it over if you have any questions on how to get started. Doesn't matter where you live in the country, doesn't matter where you are located, even in the world. We are passionate about promoting cloth diapering, so definitely bring your questions and we will be happy to answer them the best that we can. One of our first episodes was on the pros and cons of cloth diapering. Now, I'm going to just talk about the pros of cloth diapering, but I highly recommend checking out the earlier episode because it is very informative and it does kind of walk you through cloth diapering in general. But definitely check that episode out and then come back to this one if you want to continue your education with learning about cloth diapers. So there are so many benefits of cloth diapering. It's kind of hard to pinpoint different aspects, but I'm going to do my best to just give you the quick rundown financially, environmentally, health-wise. I mean, there are major reasons to switch to cloth diapering, whether you use disposable diapers or even like compostable diapers. Cloth diapering, in our humble opinion, is the best type of diapering method because it really does encompass the environmental aspect along with the health aspect and brings those two together to offer the best, safest diapering alternative for your child. Now, if you are just embarking on this journey of cloth diapers, it can certainly seem daunting. I know when I looked into cloth diapers over 12 years ago with my oldest daughter, I had no idea where to begin. And I mean, Google is a different beast now. It's obviously like the number one search engine in the world, but Google is very different than it used to be. And there just was different information back then on diapering. It was just extremely confusing. And I think even now it's a little more confusing sometimes because there are so many different types of diapers out there. So before you just jump into seeing which one's going to work for you, you got to know why it's a good switch to do. You don't want to jump into anything because there's cute prints, because we all know that cloth diapers are adorable. They have very cute prints, very easy to use type of methods, very soft material, but it's a lot more than that. And the reasons are just way more substantial than having a cute item or diaper on your baby's bum. So first, let's talk about the financial aspect of cloth diapering. Now, there's many different ways that you can actually cloth diaper as a family. Some families choose to home launder, which is when you buy cloth diapers, your own stash, and you wash them daily. There is a huge price savings in that. Some families also choose to use something like a diaper service, where you hire a service that rents you cloth diapers and professionally launders the diapers for you, so you don't have to worry about making sure they're sanitized and all that good stuff. There's definitely pros and cons of using both, but it's really all about your financial situation. Even if you're using a diaper service, you're going to save money as opposed to buying like major name brand disposable diapers in the store or via a subscription box or what have you. There are many different options out there to cloth diaper. One of the best things about cloth diapering is that not only is it cheaper, it's also the only method of diapering that you can turn around and sell your used diapers to someone else that's going to use them in turn. So when I was home laundering my oldest daughter, I was very big into this site called diaperswappers.com. I am someone who practices like a zero waste lifestyle, so my biggest thing is reusing items. Now, I did have to get over the hump of reusing cloth diapers because there is just like a natural intuitive stigma that it's like, okay, that's gnarly. I'm not using another diaper that was used on another baby. But when you look into like, you know, the sanitation of it and, you know, making sure that you just wash the diapers appropriately and having started a cloth diaper service shortly after my diaper swapper days definitely made me feel good about the decision. You see that you actually save a comical amount of money. I mean, you can literally cloth diaper your whole family, 3 children and up if you have them, you know, on $100. I mean, that is just insane. You can buy pre-folds, you can buy covers, and you can literally jam out to those for like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years sometimes, and then turn around and sell them. Now, of course, the pre-fold diapers are not going to go for any real kind of money, but if you buy something like a Bum Genius all-in-one diaper, or if you buy like a Fuzzy Buns type of diaper, I'm just throwing out names. We'll get into the different types of them in part 2. But there's just many different things that you can do with cloth diapers to save money. You can home launder is something that we recommend to families who are really like pinching pennies, really can't afford to use something like a service, which certainly is a luxury, especially if you don't have a washing machine and it's the only way that you're able to cloth diaper. But also because it does preserve the life of your diapers. Now, when you use something like a diaper service, that you have to use the diapers from the service. You can't use your own diapers because oftentimes if they're a professional service, they're using machines that are going to just destroy the diapers with high temperatures, with just the abrasive nature of these machines. So when you home launder, oftentimes you are just saving money across the board. That's like the best option financially in our personal opinion. The second one would be using a diaper service, which is, again, it's costly, and the cost does vary depending on what part of the country you're in, like many other types of industries. But if you're in New York, for example, or California, it's going to be more expensive than, let's say, Pennsylvania or Iowa. Like, that's just the nature of the industry, but you're still going to be saving money in comparison to using one of these, you know, popular big name disposable diapers that you're just literally going to throw out after using it one time. It has a a use time of like an hour and a half, but it's going to sit in the landfill for 500 years. I mean, aside from just the financial aspect, the ethical standpoint is just mind blowing. Now, aside from saving money, via using like a home washing system, home laundering system, or using a cloth diaper service, a big reason why cloth diapers save families money is because children who are cloth diapered are statistically potty trained sooner than children who are in disposable diapers, generally by a year to 2 years compared to their peers. Now, the biggest reason for this is because disposable diapers contain many different chemicals that prohibit your child from feeling they are wet. They have stay dry chemicals. They have chemicals like sodium polyacrylate. They have dyes. They have wetness indicators. There's many different things in disposable diapers that create an environment for your child to not know when they are wet, so they are in diapers longer. Now, when a child uses a cloth diaper, a lot of people say, oh, but it's uncomfortable for them. But really, a cloth diaper is just catching the contents of your child's passings, so to speak, to be as PC as possible. They're just literally like, it's just collecting. It's not supposed to be something that's supposed to be comfortable. You're not supposed to be able to be in a disposable diaper for 6 hours and be comfortable. And we're finding more and more, you hear a lot of times with daycares, right? Not to throw any shade at daycares, but situations have happened in the past and currently where families will pull children out of daycares because their kids are getting chronic diaper rashes, and the daycares are like, but they're not, they're not complaining, they're not wet, they're not uncomfortable, and it's really because of the chemicals that are in these diapers. I mean, it's absolutely crazy that it's legal for companies to put these chemicals in these diapers. I mean, the stay dry feeling they get, they never pick up the cues from their body. Whereas with cloth diapers, when a baby feels when they're wet, they feel the wetness up against their skin and they get uncomfortable. And their body and their mind starts to develop cues like, okay, as soon as I feel like this, I'm going to go use the potty. And of course with a parent or guardian helping them to, direct them to the potty. And this obviously works with disposables too, but more so with cloth diapers because there's no barrier that is blocking them picking up the cues that they are wet. Now, when a child oftentimes uses a disposable diaper and they pee in it, they literally, within seconds, that wetness goes away. Now, there have been many commercials, especially when I was growing up. I actually don't have cable or TV, so I don't know if they still have these types of commercials. But when I was growing up, I always remember seeing a specific type of diapering brand comparing one leading diaper brand company to their diaper brand company. And it would always be like a blue liquid that they would dump into a diaper, and it would show you how fast these crystals would absorb the liquid. That's not a good thing. Now, of course, families want their children to be comfortable. They don't want them to be wet. They don't want them to be, cranky or aggravated. We all want the best that, we can do for our kids. But one thing you have to understand is that more chemicals does not equal more health or, better for baby. In all honesty, I mean, a disposable diaper, when you're looking at comfort, is less comfortable than a cloth diaper. So if you're worried about, your child feeling the wetness of them actually using the diaper for its intention, that's not something that you really should be concerned about, because when your child's in a cloth diaper and they're dry, they're comfortable. When they're wet, well, it's time that they get out of the cloth diaper. And that's why it's important to change your child frequently, regardless if you're using a cloth diaper or not. It's still sanitary. Anytime your child uses a disposable diaper, it should be changed frequently. Of course, in daycare situations or babysitters or things like that, it doesn't always happen, but it is something that we highly promote, frequent diaper changes, and that is going to help your child learn to use the potty. So that is another huge savings for families when you switch to cloth diapers. The upfront cost of cloth diapering is intimidating, but if you shave off a year or two, sometimes 3 years. My oldest daughter was potty trained at 9.5 months, fully potty trained. You see the insane savings, and it's almost like, why wouldn't I do it? So that's the financial aspect. Of course, there are many more benefits of using cloth, but I just wanted to kind of talk about the financial, and I'm just going to talk quickly about the environmental, and then we're going to talk about getting started, and I'm going to roll this into probably a part 2 so it's not such a long episode. So the environmental aspects of cloth diapering are so apparent. When you look at a cloth diaper versus a disposable diaper, a reusable option versus a single-use option, I mean, the verdict is clear. Cloth diapers are far superior environmentally to disposable diapers. Now, with our diaper service, we offer something called a compostable diaper service, where families use a certain type of brand of disposable diapers that are able to be composted, which is kind of like a good in between of using cloth and disposables. It's like a good like segue kind of like into the whole eco diapering sphere. But to be completely honest, anything that has to be created or produced, like it has to be manufactured for every single diaper use, it's not sustainable. I mean, even if it's able to be composted, which is our future of compostable diapers, that is the wave of the future, regardless of what other companies may say. People like the option of using disposable diapers. So there is going to be a major shift in composting plants across the world for composting diapers. But I will say that while that's a good setup, cloth diapers are still far more eco-friendly. Now, we have a very active Facebook page, and we actually just posted on the Nature's Premier page the fruits of one of our donations. We donated a lot of diapers. We donated hundreds of diapers to this one organization, and this is like diapers after that we've used for over 8 years of the service. I mean, these diapers were used by hundreds of families. No exaggeration. We have many families that use the service or that have used the service, and diapers that we retire that have tears in them, have stains we can't get out, things of that nature. Things get old. We turn around and we donate them to families in other countries that can use them for other purposes, or even continue using them for, just diapering. Because unfortunately, a lot of these children, this sounds crazy, but this is a whole episode in itself, just on the poverty in some countries and how people really need to understand their privilege in America, especially. They reuse disposable diapers, and not in the way that you would think, oh, you can just wash it. Like, they'll literally have the diaper be used and might wipe it down and then use it again. So you obviously know how horrible that is for a child's health. But I digress. The donation we did was of many diapers that we had for 8+ years. They were literally in our 8+ year bins for donations, and it was just such a humbling feeling seeing these diapers get a second breath of life. Now, a lot of people that get donations from our service, they actually aren't in the diapering or baby field at all. They're either pet shelters, who we donate heavily to. As many of you know, I'm a huge animal rights activist, so I try to spread the love in many different, genres of my life, whether it be with children, animals, elderly homes. We donate a lot to them. There's just many different organizations that use these diapers. So like house cleaners, for example, absolutely love our diapers from our diaper service. They pick up dirt, they pick up grime. They're just great to work with, great to clean glass with. So you see that, like, even though these diapers aren't being used as diapers anymore, they're still being used for other causes, which means that these companies that are taking our donation diapers are not buying single-use items to do their daily chores that they're using the diapers for. Like, these diapers, if they're going to be taken care of properly and get laundered appropriately, they can last another 10 years. Easy. Possibly 15, 20 more years. Now, for those listening who have their own diapers, you can turn around, and if you don't want to sell your diapers and go through taking pictures and, just worrying about that whole situation, like doing kind of like an eBay Diaper Swappers thing, you could turn around and donate your diapers to a family that can use them. We've donated hundreds of diapers, thousands of diapers to many different families, even locally, that needed them, that have reached out to us saying they can't afford the service, saying they can't afford diapers. They had, many different financial situations that they needed help, and we happily helped them. And it's nice to see the diapers that we no longer can use being used again. Now, if we were just strictly a composting service, we couldn't offer them donations because the compost diapers are very, very expensive, especially if you're one of our families who use the compost service. And the diapers are disposable. So even if you want to do like a charitable thing, they're very expensive, and they're still, it's single use. So anything that's single use is not ever going to be as eco-friendly, in my humble personal opinion. Again, I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking, just in my own general terms. I'm not representing our company or, talking for other companies. But I do believe that cloth diapers are the single most sustainable diapering option for families. And not even just from like the donation aspect, which is apparent, also from the environmental aspect. Like, we said earlier, I mean, donations, obviously, it's more eco-friendly to donate things and reuse them than it is to buy new. It just is. That's why they have Salvation Armies. That's why they have different, types of thrift shops and things of that nature, because it's better to reuse, reduce, reuse, recycle is something that many people should adopt into their personal lifestyles. But we throw out, I mean, what is it, number 3 in our landfills? Number 3rd most commonly thrown out item is disposable diapers. I've mentioned this time and time again. We have no room in New York landfills. We have no room. None. We are literally shipping our garbage into other states. I mean, it is absolutely deplorable. We have no room. Like, anywhere that we're actually storing them is few and far between, because most of our garbage is going to Ohio. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And, when you think of the environmental impact alone that disposable diapers have, you have one child that's going through 2,000 to 3,000 diapers a year, annually. It doesn't look or seem like that big of a deal. It's like, all right, Brooke, chill out. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But it is. If you sit a baby next to 3,000 diapers, you're going to be like, wow, like, look at that Mount diaper. And that's for one baby. And that's for 1 year. Let's do it for 3 years. Let's see almost 10,000 diapers. Almost 10,000 diapers. I mean, it's absolutely crazy, you guys. Like, it is just way, way more environmentally friendly to use something like a cloth diaper over a disposable diaper. So now that you heard some of the pros, of course, I took a little longer than I wanted to, naturally, but now that you heard some of the pros of using cloth diapers, let's talk about how you can get started. So you have all this information, you have this arsenal, you talk with your spouse, and you're both ready to embark on this journey. Where do you get started? So first, you need to see if you're going to use a cloth diaper service. You can find one in your local area just by Googling diaper service and putting the zip code next to it, and local services will appear in your search engine. Or you can see if you want to do something like home laundering. Now, we have had many people come to the service from home laundering that had some issues with home laundering, had some issues with rashes and things like that. But a lot of families actually have a very easy time home laundering. They like doing it. They like the variety of diapers that they can use. So that's the first thing that you need to figure out. Are you going to home launder, or are you going to use something like a service? Again, there's pros and cons of both. We will have more of an in-depth episode on that on our YouTube channel. Make sure you are subscribed at Nature's Premiere. We do have different videos that are set up that are different from our podcast. The second is you have to see what type of diaper works best for your family. And obviously the easiest way to do that is to pick up different types of diapers. Now, there are several different types of diapers. You have all-in-one cloth diapers, which are diapers that are similar to disposable, but they're cloth. They generally are all sewn in together. So if you're thinking of like pins and covers and snappies, don't think of that, because it's actually not a 3-piece system. It's a 1-piece system, and the diaper is most similar to a disposable diaper. Then you have something that's kind of like an in-between hybrid. It's called a pocket diaper. Now, there's many different types of cloth diapers. I'm just going to talk about the popular ones really, really quick, just to kind of give you an idea. The pocket diaper is something that has a cover, and it has an inside liner, and it's sewn together. And you actually stuff that diaper with other cloth, like an insert or another pre-fold diaper, which is just a flat piece of cloth that you fold in thirds, and you put it inside the cover, or you put it inside the pocket diaper, and you adjust the absorbency. Now, I actually jammed out to pocket diapers for a long time with fuzzy buns with my daughter, and I really like them a lot. But after having the service for over a decade, we saw the benefits of using something more simple like a pre-fold diaper, which is something that I use with my other daughters in tandem with a Bum Genius Free Time diaper, which is an all-in-one. Now, pre-fold diapers are more traditional. They're the cheapest, or one of the cheapest. You have flat diapers that are right next to them. But pre-fold diapers are a 3-panel piece of cloth that varies in absorbability, if that makes any sense. Absorbency, I should say. And there's 3 panels, usually like 4 by 6 by 4, which means there's four layers on the outsides and a thicker layer on the inside, or you have 4 by 8 by 4, which means there's 2 additional layers on the inside. Now, you take that diaper, you fold it in thirds, lay it in the cover, or you do different types of folds on it. Now, again, we have this on our YouTube channel. We have different videos about this, so definitely recommend checking that out there if you want to see this in person. But you have to see what type of diaper is going to work for you. Are you someone that's interested in having something super simple, not wanting to deal with like a 2 or 3-piece system? You want to use it right out of the package, no guesswork necessary, then you're going to look into something like an all-in-one cloth diaper. Our favorite brand for that is Bum Genius diapers. We absolutely love them. Very, very high quality diapers. They are a little more expensive though, so that's a con. If you want more convenience, oftentimes you have to pay for it. But that is what we would recommend if you want to start cloth diapering. And you can use all-in-one diapers. We actually have it as part of our service here in New York, but some other services have it too. Or you can just order a bunch online. You can go on their actual website and place an order, or you can order through Diaper Swappers, which is going to certainly be cheaper for sure. Oftentimes families don't even use the diapers. They might have started using them. They didn't have the right info in their toolbox, and they gave up on cloth diapering, or they chose not to use it, and they'll sell the diapers for cheap just to kind of move them. So I definitely recommend checking out Diaper Swappers, eBay, that kind of, those kind of websites to get a good deal. But if you're looking to get started ASAP, definitely check out different sites online. There are many little like boutique shops online that you can find diapers. A lot of times they have coupons. A lot of times they have loyalty, credits that you can use and coupons and stuff like that, or points rather. Now, if you're looking for something that is kind of like an in-between, kind of like a hybrid, something that's going to be easy, but you have more adjustability, you're going to want something like a pocket diaper. Or if you're looking for something that's more on the cheap, then definitely go with something like a pre-fold diaper. So you have all-in-ones, you have pockets, and you have pre-fold diapers. I recommend checking all three of those out, and I recommend buying them separately. So you can order like one of each, check them out online, just search for different types of diapers. Again, my recommendation for covers is going to be Thirsties. My recommendation for, cotton diapers. There's many different types of pre-fold diapers that you can get. But we recommend checking out Oh So Cozy Diapers. They are a smaller American-based company that sells pre-fold diapers. They sell organic as well. And if you're looking for an all-in-one, we recommend Bum Genius. And you could check them out, I think, on cottonbabies.com, or just Googling Bum Genius, and many different sites will come up that sell them. So we recommend picking out a couple different types. You can also get something like a 1 and 2, or something like a flat diaper, which is very similar to a pre-fold diaper, but kind of checking out the basics is what we would recommend, because again, it's like a rabbit hole, just like with anything else. We recommend also using a cover like Thirsties, or you can kind of look into wool covers if you don't want to use any plastics, which we also recommend. Now, I have an issue with some wool companies, of course, for obvious reasons, so I always look for like more ethical companies, but I would definitely recommend just doing a deep dive search on those, checking out those three main types of diapers and seeing what's going to work best for you. Now, once you have that set up, once you have purchased those diapers, and if you find one that works for you, we recommend ordering enough for, lasting at least 2 days. So if you are going to home launder, and we are going to speak in terms of home laundering because it's just very different than using something like a service. We're going to talk about home laundering only, and then we'll just make mention to a service later on. But if you're going to have your own stash of diapers, we definitely recommend at least 24 to 36 diapers to last for 2 days. Now, this is considering that you have your own washing unit in your home or your apartment, or if you have access to a laundromat. You want to make sure that you have access to a washing machine if you're going to buy that few of diapers. Now, if you're going to go longer stretches of time, then you're going to want to double that. You're going to want at least 50 diapers, especially if you have like a little one and you consider 10 to 12 diapers per day. You really want to take that into consideration and use that number as a guide. Now, that is a loose guide. Some babies use less, some babies use more. You kind of just tweak it to your own specific requirements, but we definitely recommend having at least 10 diapers per day for your child, and having at least 30, like I'd say 30. I wouldn't even really say 24 unless you're going to wash every single day or every other day. But at least having 30 to 36 diapers or more so, depending on how often you're going to home launder. Now, once you have your stash set up, then we recommend looking into different diaper detergents. Now, there are definitely some type of detergents that some people use, they recommend using, that we wouldn't personally recommend using. Like, you have some types of detergents like Tide. Some families swear by Tide. Other families do not like Tide. They have enzymes in it. They cause very big rashes, or very bad rashes rather. But some families say certain types of Tide are better than others. Now, I'm not someone that uses those types of detergents, so I can't say. Speaking from a diaper service perspective, I don't think it's going to get the diapers for you as clean as you need them to be. And this is a very important part of cloth diapering that I don't want to skip over or breeze over. So we are going to have a Facebook Live about how to prep your diapers, and it's going to be more in depth. So definitely make sure you are on our Facebook page and keep, tuned to our events, because if you are someone that is really looking to get started, you want to have the good basics. You want to have the good, foundation, solid foundation, so it works for you. Because what's the point of buying all these cloth diapers and then you use them, you wash them, and your baby gets a diaper rash? Like, obviously you're going to get turned off by them. You want to make sure that you have the right washing machine set up. So I'm not going to run through that in this episode. It was really just to recommend how to get started. But I do recommend looking into different cloth diapering detergents that work well for you and for your machine. Now, one brand that we like is called Rock and Green. And the reason why I personally like this brand is because they have different detergents and different requirements. Like, some detergents are for hard water, some detergents are for soft water. They have really cute, funny, like, alternative rock names for, like, they have like this smashing watermelons. Like, they have really, really cute names. And their formula seems to be really, really good. They have sensitive skin formula, which is really important when you're looking into cloth diapering. A lot of families come to cloth diapering for many different reasons. One of the biggest ones being, aside from like financial and environmental, is health. So you want to make sure that the detergents that you're using on your child are going to be healthy and they're not going to cause rashes. Another really, really good one that's also HE, high efficiency compatible, is called Allen's Naturally. That's one that I've actually been using for like 20 years. I use them on my clothes for in my home, but it works really, really well. A lot of families absolutely love Allen's Naturally. It is definitely more of like an old-fashioned type of brand, but they're really, really good. And honestly, if it's not broke, then don't fix it. You know what I mean? Don't change the formula if it's going to work. So we recommend Rock and Green, checking out Allen's Naturally, also checking out Charlie's Soap if you think it's going to work for you. Again, there are some families that say they have had bad rashes, but I've never experienced that, and I do know people that it's worked very well for. And another one is going to be Country Save. Now, there are certainly mainstream detergents that families and different, pages and groups and, parenting sites are going to recommend. But the reason why I don't recommend a lot of these large companies is because I'm someone that comes from an ethical standpoint with my purchases. So I'm not going to recommend a giant brand if I know like that they're horrible for the environment or they do animal testing. I'm just not going to, contribute to promoting their label, especially if you're big enough that you don't have to do those practices and you continue to do so. It's not something that I want to patron or spread to others. So I definitely recommend, looking into more holistic types of detergents, but also looking into other ones because there may be a cheaper name brand, leading detergent that might work for you and might work well for your cloth diapers. So definitely just looking into different types of detergents. That is going to be your next step after getting your stash together. And then once you do that, just playing with your wash routine and seeing what's going to work best for you there. Because honestly, you can follow a wash routine to the T, but if your water's not getting hot enough, if you don't have, your spin cycle fast enough, you're going to have some complications. But you just want to play around, see what the setup is with your machine. And if you have any questions, again, email us at speaking@naturespremiere.com. We offer advice. We offer help to anyone, again, regardless of where you are in the country or the world. We are just looking to connect with more people and spread the message of cloth diapering. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, if you're looking into using a cloth diaper service, one of the big pros is that there's really no setup. Other than just signing up for the service, what a cloth diaper service does for you is they just drop off cloth diapers for you. They take a batch of diapers, they put your name on it pretty much in layman's terms, and that's your set that you're going to be using for the duration of your service. Now, you have pre-fold diapers and you have all-in-one diapers, and those are like the basic types of cloth diapers that services tend to offer. There are some services that offer pockets. There are also some services that offer like something like all-in-twos, but services like Nature's Premier, we find that families are either on one end of the spectrum or the other, not so much in between. And usually those in-between families are using something like a compost service. So again, the all-in-one diapers, are generally more expensive than the pre-fold diapers, but they're easier to use and they're usually more like quote unquote babysitter friendly or grandparent friendly and that kind of thing. But yeah, with using a service, you literally sign up, you let the company know what your baby's weight range is, and they get you taken care of. There's no real prep for that. It's just literally, seeing what works best for you. And depending on what service you use, a lot of times they'll let you switch. Like with Nature's Premier, we have people that literally just play hacky sack with their services. Like they are constantly switching from cloth to compost, from cloth to, pre-folds to all-in-ones, or vice versa, and everything in between. And you can always do that as long as you give like notice. We can always accommodate that for you. And we have a lot of families that take advantage of that, because sometimes you need to try multiple types of methods to see what's going to work best for you. Now, again, we talked about a lot of things in this episode. We talked about the financial benefits. We talked about the environmental benefits. We talked about the pros of just using cloth diapers, and also quickly how to get started, jumped into different types of cloth diapers. Now, this was really just an overview of cloth diapering in general, talking about the diaper service, talking about home laundering, but we do have more episodes that are coming that are going to break it down. Now, part 2, I really want to break it down more into the different types of diapers that you can get. But again, we recommend checking out our actual videos on these topics because they're very, very, very beneficial. And we also have Facebook Lives. So if, let's say, you don't want to watch the actual video and you want to be more intuitive with me or someone else who's speaking for the Facebook Live, then you can just jump on there, ask us questions, make sure you like our page on Facebook, Nature's Premier Diaper Service, and you are following us so you get the announcements when we are going live. Now, that is on our diaper service page. We also have the Nature's Premier podcast page on Facebook, where you can jump on a live and request different videos, request different topics, talk about previous episodes, or even give your feedback or commentary on past interviews that we have done. It's something that's really cool and very intuitive, and it's just a fun time to be alive because we can be so engaged with our guests, we can be so engaged with our listeners and all the families that tune in every single week. So definitely link up with us on those platforms. And again, if you are someone that's just embarking on this journey of cloth diapering, do not fret, don't sweat, don't worry. It's something that is going to come together for you. There's a lot of information and a lot of good people to follow out there that are going to help you on your journey of cloth diapering. And we are happy to be one of the people to be providing the services that we have been providing and to be working with the people that we work with. And again, if you ever have any questions, reach out to us and we are more than happy to help you. This is Brooke Nichols of the Nature's Premier podcast signing off on episode 50 of our podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in weekly. We look forward to doing another 50 more episodes, or 500 more episodes, truthfully. If I could do this forever, I will. But thank you guys so much. Again, please make sure to rate and subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Thank you all so much. I wish you a wonderful week ahead and happy Memorial Day. Thank you all to our veterans who have served and who have fallen for our country. Until next week, I hope you have a wonderful, stress-free week ahead. Take care, friends.